Now, in the last couple of years, we've seen a wave of innovations within East Africa's mobile phone sector, specifically in mobile payments and using a mobile phone to transact even on the internet. What would you say is driving that growth?
Well, I think the factors are, number one, the phenomenal uptake of mobile payments in Eastern Africa and specifically in Kenya. That is one of the factors. Actually, as we speak, merchants are already using mobile payments to actually receive payments for services rendered or for goods delivered as well. So definitely that is one of the biggest factors.
So introduce us to iPay. How exactly is it integrated into the systems? How does a user get to transact on the internet, and how does it differ from what we've seen in the market?
iPay is basically a mobile payments transaction processing engine. By that, we mean that we are not a money transfer service. We are not here to compete in the space of the likes of M-Pesa, Zap, and all the others which are actually coming into the market. But what we have done is that we have packaged these transaction processing or these money transfer engines rather onto a single online interface, which means that a merchant can actually have our processing modules on their website, and they would then be able to integrate that with their shopping carts, for instance, or their office payment systems, etc. And they would be able to actually process payments in real time, which would of course come from the networks of the telcos. So that's basically what it is in a nutshell. Our focus is the Kenyan market, but we are also focusing on the region because of Zap, for instance, and Zain, which has a fairly Pan-African footprint. And but however, currently we are focusing on Kenya. We'd like to consolidate in Kenya. So as a user, we are targeting merchants, not users. So you would just basically go onto a website where the system is live, and you would carry out your shopping cart experience. That is the same. Nothing has changed. We haven't come in to reinvent that wheel. It's working well. So we have built modules that would plug into existing shopping carts. So the merchant just has to have the interface on his or her website, and you would check out whatever it is that you're buying, and you will then be presented with iPay as a payment option as well. And you would click on a link, and once you get onto that link, you would then be asked to pay by M-Pesa or Zap, because we have actually integrated those payment modules onto one single payment platform, basically. So you then go onto your phone at that point, send the money as per the instructions on that particular web page, get a transaction code. Our system would then pick that transaction code, carry out some fraud checks, etc., and return a status back to the shopping cart of that particular merchant. And you're either checked out or your transaction is left pending.
Now, with the growth of online payments, there are risks involved. Now, you've talked about having fraud checks within your transaction systems, but how much of a challenge is this, and what is being done to keep it in check?
Actually, I think one of the things that helps is the fact that some people may call it a bad thing, but the mobile payment systems for each of the telcos are closed systems. There is really no conceivable way right now to be able to hijack transactions midstream, or to be able to take people's PIN numbers, or to be able to tamper with the mobile wallets which are owned by individuals or companies, etc. So that is definitely a very, very good thing. On our end also, we are not, we have a special private system that communicates with the telcos when we are authenticating transactions. It's not open to the public. No one has access to it.
As an entrepreneur getting into this market when it's still a fresh idea, especially within the East African region, what would you say are the immediate challenges that your company has faced in creating a product like this?
Actually, one of the biggest challenges we face is regulation, because there is a lack of legislation. The competitive space it's still very young, it's still small, and we are facing a challenge with regards to exactly which licenses do we need to have. How will the central bank, for instance, view such systems? So that is, for us, one of the biggest headaches that we are facing at the moment. But with regards to the market understanding what the product is or the wide array of products which are out there, there is very, very high market sensitivity and product understanding. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are facing, actually, that is one of our best problems, if I can say that. The demand is very high. Mm-hmm. And I think that there's actually space for quite a number of systems and options out there.
Now, the mobile phone sector is one of the most competitive in sub-Saharan Africa, but how would you rate Kenya's performance in terms of innovation against its peers such as Rwanda, South Africa, Nigeria, which are positioning themselves as ICT hubs for the African continent? I
personally think that Kenya rates exceptionally highly. I think there was a very large mobile conference which was held in Spain just fairly recently, and M-Pesa won it scooped the top award with regards to mobile payment innovation. Now, in terms of market size, I would say that definitely Nigeria is a much, much larger market. But I would say in terms of innovation, I think that Kenya is way ahead, simply because of the fact that mobile payments have actually, they've taken root in this market, and no one would have expected this. Rwanda, I think they have an excellent regulatory environment, and with the consolidation of the East African community, I think that it can only get better. I don't look at them as competitors. That's a potential market. That's a potential reservoir of talent 5-10 years from now. So I would not look at them as competitors. But in terms of mobile payment uptake, I think that Kenya is really tops, if you ask me.